All right, welcome back to part 2. In part 1, we looked at a good few functions along the way, or a good few things that we can do along the way here in Delphi. We looked at adding in objects, at editing their properties, at using the data that we have from fields to put elsewhere. So at the moment, our code or runs this. This is our program over here where we don't see our panel and we don't see anything inside of our panel either. So let's come down over here, just make sure that we have that visible. So all of this setup is going to run when we load the form, when we start the form. I'm going to tab this over just so it's a little bit easier to see over there. So with that on panel 1, if I've got visible is true, then we can see it and we're able to put our name in there and it shows up over there, as well as all of these other lines of text that we have. Now, what if we wanted to have a, let's put in a, well, let's just say on this over here, this rich display, whenever we hover over it, then we want it to show a message that says hello. That's it. We'll make it as simple as that. It's kind of difficult when we try to double click on it, then it just creates a click event, which is not quite what we want. In fact, a change event, whenever it changes, then code will run for that, and that's not what we want to happen. Let's look what happened when we did double click on that, or when we created an event listener for our button click. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to delete this because we're going to be making our own. So here we have in our type, you'll see it says T form main. So in our form, which is a class, it's got all of these objects inside it. So it's got the panel, which is of the type panel, label type, blah, 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 button show info, which is of the type button. And then we've got a procedure. So a procedure, if you think of a medical procedure, it's something that is repeatable and something that is doable, and it has certain parameters with it, certain ways that we can do it, and it needs to affect something. Okay, so if we want this procedure to be a, I'm going to call it, we can call it whatever we want, and I'm just going to call it hover show message. And then we have the parameter of what it uses in here inside this procedure. For now, don't worry too much about it. Just know that we're using it with a sender, so we're going to be able to attach it to our object that we're using. Now this is underlined. Let's see what it says. It says unsatisfied forward or external declaration T form hover show main message. Okay, so it's saying that we have said that we've got this procedure, but we haven't said what's inside that procedure or what that procedure does. So let's do that by writing procedure down here. So you can put it under implementation. This is a different procedure. We're writing it under it. Now this is inside T form main. Okay, so we've got to make sure that we've got that T form main, and then inside T form name, as you can see, it's already brought it up over there because we typed it. Hover show message, which I can type, or much safer bet to actually have it just finish it for you. Sender T object over there, because I have written here. That's the correct pronunciation of that. Okay, so we've got our procedure over here, and we need to say where it begins, and then it'll autofill for us where it ends. Now inside here, we are going to put what we want to happen with this procedure, with this function, with a set of instructions that are repeatable. And I want to show message. This is a built-in function. And so when we have a built-in function or a function, we've got brackets, and then it takes an argument, just like this procedure over here is a type of function that takes an argument. The argument this takes is a string, so anything that we want to show in here needs to be a string. Okay, we're going to speak about converting types in the next video. So if you did have a number that you wanted to show, for example, and you needed to get it from a number and convert it into a string, we'll look at different ways of doing that. So show message, then we'll just say this is the message I want to show. No, I'm not going to correct the spelling mistake. This message I want to show, hi, because I said it would say hi. Okay, so now at the moment, yes, remove the reference. Sorry, that's just an error because I deleted that other onChange event that it was putting on for us. Okay, so you shouldn't get that error, and don't worry if you do. So at the moment, we've just got tfrom hover show message, but it's not attached to anything, so it's not going to run at any point. We can choose when we want it to run. Remember, that's what an event does. It tells our code when it should run. And we've got all of these events that are ready and set up for us. This is on the rich edit text. We said that's the one that we're going to use. And we are going to say on maybe mouse enter. So here in Object Inspector on mouse enter, I can choose what I want it to do. It shows us that it can actually have the same thing, the same function, the same procedure as the button show info click, but we want to use our hover show message. So I can just click on that, and then just like that, this procedure is attached to this event. And so, if we run this, then whenever I hover my mouse over, we've got this is the message I want to show, hi. Okay, so anytime it hovers over there, then that runs. Cool. Then let's write one more procedure over here that will run on the form activate. So this will run as the program starts up. So for example, if we want to have the, let's say we want that rich text to be hidden away. So let's say hidden stuff at the start. Okay, sender, once again, T object, boop, boop, boop. And I need to, because I've created a new procedure over here, up top there, I can put it in here, tform main, it's still in there. I'm just going to push enter so it fills that all out for me. Yay, thank you very much. And I'm going to say begin and end. And in here, I'm able to access the form and all of our properties, just like we do for all of these other ones. And I want to say for this red display name, let's do visible, and we'll assign it the value of false. Okay, so it won't show. And I also want to have over here that the text is empty. So an empty string over there, which means that I can get rid of that over there. Don't worry if you missed out on that, if I went too quickly on that. Main thing over here is we've got red display name dot visible. This visible property is now false. Okay, so let's see what happens with that. Just this, so I've just written it now, so we shouldn't see anything different. Look, it is still showing, and when you hover over it, the text is still showing. So we've got this procedure, yes. We've got a procedure, but we haven't attached it to an event. So let's come over to our form over here and look at the form events. We've got a lot of events over here. We're going to use this on activate event. So that'll be as the form starts, or as it, no, not that one. We want hidden stuff at the start to be attached to the form main on activate. Okay, so happy with that. So what we should have now is at the start, as it launches, we do not see that. And when we hover over here, nothing happens. Cool. We do want to show it. So let's just quickly add that in. And we're going to say red display name. That's our rich edit field. We want it to be visible. The visible property shouldn't be false, but it should be true. Okay, so that's our Boolean value, true or false. And let's see if that works now. So this will only show up once I've put my name in and I click show name. There you go. Okay, cool. So just notice over here, we haven't got onto it yet, but if I try to do that, okay, cool, it's still got it stored in there. It's taken it as empty, so there's nothing in there for it to show. On other input fields, edit fields, you'll see it'll give you an error over there. Okay, so yeah, again, this is working over there. And what we looked at in this video was making our own procedure and attaching it to an event. We haven't gone over the proper syntax for this, but for now, this is just how you create it. Procedure, you write it there under your tform main class. So it's inside this class, this object, and then it's and then we describe it, or we write it out exactly what happens in it, and then we assign it to an event in our object inspector. That's the way that we'll kind of do that. Okay, cool. Hope that all makes sense and helps you with a bunch of things. And what we're going to look at next is going to be the math functionality. Okay, that's it. Bye.